welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I try to help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Maybe you, well, I'm sure you noticed if you watch this, well, if you don't watch it, you won't notice. I love it when people, I like it when you hear on the, when they're in the store and they go, if you're in the store, you have a phone call on line 1. Stan, if you're in the store, of course you have a phone call on line 1, whether you're in the store or not. So anyway, I've changed the setting. I want to get your comment. What do you think? Do you like this better? And the other one is not quite as busy in the back. Couldn't get the window out of the frame though. We moved some things around in our living room. I like this a lot better. I like the picture, my daughter's picture. She does an excellent job. Just some vineyards and stuff, so that's pretty cool. I like that. I like having that in the picture. Sorry, Ari, your picture lasted a long time. First 272 episodes, I had the Paisano guy in the background from Ari. Now it's time to show some love for my first child. Good job, Charlotte. Excellent picture. Today's Blue Friday. Seahawks play the Ravens on Sunday, and I will give my prediction on the game. Actually, I was doing pretty good. 2 weeks in a row, I hit it like within a few points. And then last week, totally blew me out of the water. Seahawks crushed the Minnesota Vikings. I think I said, oh, I can't remember, 27-24, and it turned out to be like 37-10, was it? Yeah, it was ridiculous. Anyway, I can't even remember the score. It was so outrageous. For a fan, a Seahawks fan, it was a beautiful, beautiful game. Okay, let's get into the show. We're going to talk next 2 episodes. This is part 1, Nero D Avola from Sicily. I had a customer come in and said, you know, I want to try some different Nero D Avolas. I have about 3 at the store that I do, so I thought, well, this would be interesting to get into that. Nero D Avola is the workhorse of Sicily. I mean, this is the main grape. It's like Sangiovese in Tuscany. It's like Nebbiolo in Barbaresco and Barolo, Piedmont. It is the workhorse. And, you know, up until recently, it was used as a blending grape. It's very dark in color, so a lot of people use it, a lot of winemakers use it to blend to give depth and color to their wines. But recently, within the last 30 years, or less even, Nero D Avola has kind of come on its own as a singular varietal. And the beauty of Nero D Avola is you can find a whole bunch of really decent, easy to drink, nice Nero D Avola in the $10 to $15 range. I was just on a website. It was actually, it was kind of silly. They were, I don't know, you know, sometimes the planets align and all of us wine people think on the same page. And this was dealing with Nero D Avola, and it said you can get them, and mentioned Planeta, which we're doing, and it said you can get them between 15 and 20 bucks. Sorry to say, there are a lot of Nero D Avola out there that are more than that, especially when you're talking Planeta, one of the most respected wineries in Italy. They get a lot of good press. Their Nero D Avola is a little bit more. Anyway, named after the town of Avola, the black of Avola. The reason it means that is because the grape is very dark skinned. So that's the name Nero D Avola. It used to be called, I think it was Calabrese was the original name of it. And you know, there's a lot of different speculation about the origin of this grape. But bottom line is, it's a very good grape. It has good tannins, good acidity, good structure. So we're going to try 3 Nero D Avola. This is the Cusimano Nero D Avola 2014. And Terra Sicilian is the IGT. This rolls in at $17. So part 1 is going to focus mostly on, well, a little, I guess, upper scale Nero D Avola. The cool thing about going to grapes like this is that, you know, as wine drinkers, if you're interested in experimenting, getting away from Cab, Syrah, Merlot, Zinfandel, you know, those grapes, Pinot Noir, it's kind of cool to go to wines from Italy that show good quality and not up there in that upper echelon of pricing. You know, for instance, Napa Cab, to find a good Napa Cab for under $20, really hard. Under $30, you can find a few. You have to go over 30 and you get the really good Napa cabs. Now, I'm not saying they're not out there. There are a few out there, and I've found them. But you get the picture. People expect to pay $30 plus for a really good Napa cab. Now we're looking at, you know, Nero D Avola. I love saying that. I mean, I just do this episode just to say Nero D Avola. Let's see what we get on the nose. So, you know, just that really deep currant. I'm even getting a little black raspberry. There's definitely tobacco. We still make fun of Eric Asimov for saying you can't get tobacco out of a wine. Okay. Respect you, dude. You're a great writer. You do a great job reviewing wines, but you can't get tobacco. I'm sorry. You can get tobacco. Yeah, there's a little bit of a cranberry kind of pomegranate element coming through. A little perfume. Let's see what we get on the palate. Actually, I get a lot of red flowers too, so that's the perfume part. So this is an interesting wine on the palate. Some of you might not like it. Those of you who are looking for the plusher style wines. This has good acid. A lot of red flowers. I'm getting a little red brick component. And I don't know, I know that's a hard one for a lot of people, but I think of the smell of red brick, how it can translate in the mouth. I get that like kind of red brick component. I get a lot of acid. So this is a brighter style wine, but it's not mouth puckering, which is kind of cool. You know, we don't mind bright as long as it doesn't pucker up the lips. And a lot of people, even though it's not as easy to find as you'd think, pizza and Italy kind of go together. Yeah, this would be a great pizza wine. I know a lot of wine geek friends. Make sure that Seahawk is showing. I know a lot of wine geek friends that would love this because of the acidity, because of the refreshing feel on the palate. A lot of pomegranate, a lot of cranberry, a lot of red flowers. Tobacco comes through barely. It needs pepperoni. It needs some greasy, spicy meat. Lamb would be good actually with that. You know, it's just a little too bright on the palate for me. It definitely needs food. I'm gonna go B minus. I think it's a good wine. I don't think it's going to be super popular with a lot of people. I think it's well built. I think it gets a good acid. I think it will age. I'm going to go B minus because I want to be fair in the sense that it is a good, well-made wine. I just think it's a little bit kind of two-dimensional, I guess you could say. Yeah, I'm going to go B minus on that. Let's move on to the next one. 2013 Mandrarosa Nero D Avola. And the DOC is Sicily. So IGT, it's a red table wine. It shows its colors. Good wine though. I mean, B minus, you know, it's not bad. I want to be careful, you know, just because it's high in acid doesn't mean it's not a good wine. Okay, 21 bucks. I'm excited to try this one. Once again, we're talking $21, not a lot of money. I'm kind of excited about this new setup. Not so much going on behind me. I like that. I like where it is. I like where my bar is. I like everything about it. I like, you know, I got my little basket for corks over here. Got my coffee. Yeah, I like it. Just a funny story kind of cracked me up. Mandrarosa. Now let's not get into the story right now. Let's get through these wines. Let's see what we get on the nose. So right off the bat, a little more muted than the other one actually. very actually kind of, you know, not a lot going on. I get a little bit of a chocolate component coming through, a little bit of bark action. Yeah, it's just not exciting on the nose. Now, that being said, that doesn't always scare me. It used to scare me back in the day. I think, it's not very good on the nose. And then the palate just blew me away. And you've seen that on these episodes. I know you've seen it where I say, wow, there's not much going on there. Boom, hits me on the palate. A little bit of an oatmeal component, like oatmeal cookie, oatmeal granola bar thing coming through. Let's see what we get on the palate. It says a little oak on it. That comes through. Very interesting wine. The chocolate comes through on the backside. This has a little higher acidity also. Keeps it fresh. This is, actually I'm a little more disappointed. I would go to the $17 one over this one. Price point $4. A little bit of spice action on the back. This is very muted on the palate. I'm kind of pissed a little bit about this. I've tasted many Nero D Avola a lot better than this. All I get is like this tobacco chocolate, a little brightness on the front. Maybe a little bit of a dark cherry blended with cranberries. I like the back, and you know the back labels are always funny. It says, intense bouquet of red berries and layers of black cherry and licorice on the palate. No, sorry buddies, I don't get any of that. That's why you always got to be careful reading the back label. Of course these guys are going to, you know, say great things about their wines. It's their wine. It'd be really cool if you get this little group of, maybe they do it, a group of guys that kind of subcontract out to give flavor profiles on the back. This one I would say is very one-dimensional. A lot of the flavors are masked, perhaps in oak. I was reading the back to see if they say that they did it on oak. I know they do Nero D Avola on oak. Some do, some don't. No. $21. I'm going to go D on that. I just think it's a real disappointment. I'm very disappointed in this wine. I don't think if you bought it, you would feel good about what you just spent on your money. If you like a little higher acid wines, yeah, maybe, but there's just not a lot going on. I'm going to go D. I don't like that one at all. Let's move on. Planeta 2010 Santa Cecilia. This is the DOC is Noto in Sicily. This is runs at $43. 100% Nero D Avola. Planeta, like I said, the wines from Planeta are just fabulous. They get a ton of good press. They've been named Winery of the Year by some prestigious Italian wine magazine several times. So Planeta, not small chump change, $43. You could probably get it for less. I just, just a shout out to all those that do the Young's Market catalog. The catalog is just so frustrating trying to understand what the real pricing is. But this is a front line. In other words, this was the initial price. I would say you could probably get it for $35 on average, I would say. But let's see what we get on the nose. This definitely has chocolate on the nose. That's the first thing I get off of this one. I get some pretty deep currant notes, and I get a little stink action, which I like. This one, and some tobacco. This one doesn't jump out either. Certainly more than the Mandra Rosa. Rosa. Getting a little bit of like a wilted rose petal action, if that makes any sense. Let's see what we get on the palate. I hate to jump to this price point to get a quality wine, but this is definitely showing a lot more layers, a lot more interesting things. It has currants, it has bark, it has tobacco, it has a little chocolate. It starts out smooth. The acid is in the background, kind of shows itself a little bit on the finish. It makes your mouth water a little bit. Definitely a food wine. All these are food wines. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't sit there and drink these solo ever unless I was trying to get an acid hit just for the fun of it for my wines. But no, you know, they're not solo wines. Really good structure. It has this a little charcoal action going on right on the back of the mid palate. Has a little black olive characteristic coming through. The tobacco is definitely there. This has layers. You can tell this has layers. As it breathes and opens up, I'm sure you'll get more and more of this. There's an underlying like bittersweet chocolate element coming through. And like I said, the acid is there, but it really comes through on the finish where you get a little bit more of that kind of cranberry violets thing going on. Wow. So this is 2010, and it is still a baby. I would say, if you have the patience, cellar it from 5 to 8 years, and this will be a fantastic, beautiful wine that's probably worth well over $100. I think it's very well made, good stuff, has a lot of layers. I'm going to go, man, I hate doing this. I mean, I love finding really, I was really hoping the less expensive ones would show better, but in this case, this is definitely an A minus. I'm going to go A-A. It's right in that area. I think it will be an A wine in 5 years. Right now, it's an A minus wine. I just see the potential there. I like what I see there. So if you want to try, if you feel like investing in a really good Nero D Avola, I'm sorry guys, I couldn't come through with you on the lower price ones, but you know, like I said, 43 bucks for an Epicab, or 43 bucks for a really good Syrah from Washington State. It's not asking a lot, so I think this is a good investment if you want to, and it's good now. Thanks for watching. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.